mask, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses. Black mask, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't trying to go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
Peace. Welcome back to another episode of the Urban X podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you for being here. I'm Malcolm. This is the Black Dot.
Didn't I tell you to wait?
Peace. Welcome back to another
Thank you.
of the Urban X podcast.
There you go. For TV. Come on, bro. You know I'm. You know this thing is slow.
We appreciate you for joining us again. I'm Malcolm. This is the Black Dot. Thank you.
In the building, in the flesh, on time-ish.
Yeah, ish, yeah.
You know, you might have received if you're a part of our text message system.
They're coming in now.
I'm waiting, okay?
Some days they come out faster than others.
I'm waiting, you know, because I always use this to check my employees' work.
Yeah.
And so far, I have not received my own text. I don't even know I'm on. What kind of ish is this?
You're right. Thank you for joining us. How was your week, sir?
Let's get a roll call in there.
Oh,
first.
yes. I see DC in the building, Bryan, Texas in the building. Who else? Georgia in the building, Midway, Georgia in the building.
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas in the building.
Yeah.
I got to go out Texas. Illinois in the building.
Mississippi.
Okay.
In the building.
Chicago, of course.
Antigua.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So are we getting an announcement tonight? Monday.
Chicago.
Next Monday.
In
next Monday coming up.
the building.
Now, how was your week?
Weekend was a little up and down. My cousin Stacy passed away last night. That was my girl. And yeah, she was fighting a battle. So rest well, cousin Stace. You know, and to the whole family, the whole Kit family, the whole family. I love you guys. My man DJ P's funeral was today. Mm-hmm. He was put to rest. Shout out DJ P. Other than that, man, quiet kind of week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Other than that, pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a shout out to Sheena Arnold.
Yes.
Once again, Tashina has, showed a generous side of herself.
We appreciate it.
But this time, she did it because she appreciated my artistic expression. She said, just not paraphrasing, my sitcom piece was brilliant. You know what I mean? And so, to Sheena, I love you. And when I win Best Male Vocal for an animated series.
Okay, go ahead.
As Slider in the Buggin series, I'm going to thank you personally for that. Because, artists recognize artists.
Oh, my God.
So thank you again to Sheena for the love that you show to our show. Very generous.
Yes.
I want to also make an announcement really quick. My man Aaron and Taraya, today is their 10th year anniversary.
Got that up.
They've been together 15 years, but 10 is married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a good space to be in.
It's a long time.
So shout out Aaron and Taraya. Wish you guys another 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
We still, yeah.
All right. So let's get. Do we have any other announcements? No, right?
Other announcements. You should get our text messaging service.
Yes. So sign up with text UrbanX to 917-810-3077.
The text still has not.
Listen. I don't control these things. I send them out, but the system be working slow sometimes. All right.
Well, now people they don't know we on.
True. I mean, they should know we on.
And they just missed the whole purpose of the text, and they just missed all that good stuff.
Okay.
Heads are gonna roll. Heads are going to roll.
Hey, let's get to it.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So straight out the gate, justice for Juicy.
Justice for Juicy.
Justice for Juicy.
Justice for Juicy.
Gay Tupac himself.
The gay Tupac.
So today it was announced that Jussie Smollett, I was about to say Smollett, Jussie Smollett, he was being sentenced for his role in the fabrication of that hate crime that went down in 2019.
Yeah.
In front of the Subways sandwiches. In front of Subways.
Yeah.
We were waiting all day for the sentencing. So apparently today he got sentenced to 30 months of probation and 150 days in prison. He has to pay $106,000 in restitution and another $25,000 fine.
I think that's fair.
I think so too.
I mean, all the manpower and hours sorting this out on the Chicago side of things, and for it to be a hoax because you wanted to reinsert yourself into a show that they were probably writing you out of.
Yeah.
And because it was sloppy work.
Oh, yeah.
Very sloppy work. You and your team.
Oh, it's county jail, not federal. Thank you, C-Mac.
They got the tape of y'all reenacting, and you're using Nigerians to be the hateful white people and shit.
He kept the rope around his neck.
Yeah, rope around it. Just
He was wilding.
it was bad. It was bad, and it was a desperate attempt to garner up some, media attention, and he lost. And now he's got 150 days of hard time.
That's messed up. You ain't had to do
Pause,
that.
nigga.
You ain't have to do that.
You like to be juicy, smoothie.
That's not. Yeah, he's not just gay. He's French too.
He's not just gay, but he's also French.
He's also French.
I always wanted to have a little French lady in my life. You know what I'm saying? And,
it's kind of funny because somebody even mentioned in the chat just now that, the everybody who was riding with him when they all just kind of tried to step back from the crowd, they wasn't there.
Whoa. And y'all was pushing silence is violence and all of this justice for Juicy.
Silence is violence. Oh my God!
And y'all need to step up as heterosexual men and support. And we were supporting him with our silence. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As Dave Chappelle so eloquently put it. Right? Because we could smell this coming a mile away. None of these details added up.
Yeah.
So, as a result,
Somebody posted Kamala Harris's tweet in support of him, when this whole thing happened, and then they put it next to the tweet of him receiving 150 days.
But you know what? Also, a lot of times we so quick, like you said, to want to be on the right side of things that we will jump to the front of the line without understanding all the details.
Well, you know what's crazy? That says more about just the way our society is, the way our news moves as well. Because news became, as soon as clickbait became a thing, that should have spelled trouble for the way just news happens and the way we report. Because you just want to be first on everything, right? So this came out and people heard the whole story. People heard the whole story and just said, well, this has to be right. And it had MAGA attached to it. So this Trump has to be right. Trump, it just has to.
Right.
So
see,
they ran with
if
it.
he would have went with anything other than MAGA hats,
yeah,
that might have got him over a little bit. But MAGA hats,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So that kind of you was trying to cement this.
Bro, I was getting
and pulling on people's emotion and hatred for Trump.
Yeah.
At the same time.
And black men and straight black men. I don't know how we got in it. It was the wildest thing.
It was the wildest thing.
People were retweeting that article from The Root, like the straight black men are the white men of black people, and silence is violence, and black people, black men's, silence on. It was a mess, bro. I was getting into so many arguments with people because I'm just like, how the hell do we have anything to do with this?
Yeah, my whole life I always wanted a French woman, and lo and behold, there you are. You know what I'm saying? I never thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, somebody said early 2019 optical delusion. Yeah, it was bad.
It was really bad.
It was bad, man.
I'm asking a serious question. Is he now the same? Is he in the same jail as R. Kelly?
I have no clue.
I have no clue. But he did. He had to report today. Yes.
He had to go in today.
He had to go right in.
Yeah.
So
he brought his 92-year-old grandmother in, his brother in, to kind of plead for his case. The judge went crazy on him. I want to see if I could get the quote. You called him a charlatan, and I was like, God damn, okay.
Because I think he doubled down at one point.
He did. He called himself the Gang Tupac, and then he said, these charges should be dropped. How should they be dropped? You dead ass wrong.
Yeah. He
said you're a charlatan pretending to be a victim of a hate crime, and now you are permanently a convicted felon.
Boom. Drop ball into that.
God damn.
Hate crime is serious stuff, bro.
And you got to think, this somebody ever like accuse you of something and then be completely wrong, right? The vindication you feel.
Yes.
Right? So if you look at like the conversation that's happening online right now, all white people, MAGA supporters are so vindicated. They're like, he was trying to start a race war under the guise of being black and gay. So they already don't like you, and then you're wrong at you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Oh man, because he could have went to the actually, racist place and probably got that off. But then his story is just them knowing he was on power and them knowing he was gay. It was just a lot.
It was a lot to unfold.
And then this is MAGA country. Nobody talks like that.
That's great. His family was there to support him. Yeah, sure.
That's a fact. But I'm just saying
that don't mean he was right. Shit,
that's what
I know
mean,
people who support their family, and this nigga done shot 12 people.
Yeah,
I'm there too. All right, Malcolm. hey, hold you. Don't the soap. No.
Yeah.
Wash with your underwear on. Yeah, they don't take them off. They keep the towel around to go in. Have your man, like a good friend, stay outside. And if they put snacks on your bed, don't eat those snacks.
Is that for real?
Yeah, you come back to your room and there's some snacks there, and you'll be like, oh shit, that was nice of the prisoners to look out for the new guy. And then they sitting there and they listen. Then they come in like,
okay.
What's good? You ate those?
I didn't know. I probably wouldn't eat, man. I'm just saying.
That's gonna cost, nigga. I'm gonna need 12 of those back.
Yo, what comedian has the funniest prison story? They got Ali Sadiq, I think is his name. Funniest prison stories, because he actually went to jail like early in his life.
Is that Mexican
boots?
Mexicans got on boots. That is the funniest prison story I ever heard. Mexican got on boots.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know, man. Yo,
he's
got on
funny.
That is funny. But don't eat those snacks, homie.
Got it.
Keep your towel around.
Got it.
And change like you don't, bro.
Got it. Okay.
And I forget the most famous dude in there. He used to teach people how to box and defend themselves.
Yeah.
But what he was doing was he was finding out your weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then after he know what you can and cannot do, he would knock you out and rape you.
That's crazy.
Man, don't do crime if you can't do the time.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good. Don't even come to me with no PP schemes. Nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Yeah. I will remain on the outside here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless it's like life and death. Other than that, don't accept the snacks.
Hey.
True story.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So this was big news. Director Ryan Coogler, he was mistaken for a bank robber when he tried to withdraw some money think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday.
Yeah, $12,000.
$12,000 in cash, and the cops got called on him. They put him in handcuffs and everything. And I saw the video from the body cam, and I heard the police call, the 911 call, the dispatcher. Now the dispatcher seemed to be the only one kind of just asking the questions that you should have asked. That I think that the bank teller should have been asking.
Okay, what was the dispatcher?
Basically, like, because he gave in a note, right? And that's a classic bank robber move, right?
Give me the money.
Give me money. This
Keep
is a
it
stick
quiet.
up. Yeah, stick up. Give me the money. Slide them a note. Come back. And people were talking about the way he was dressed. He had the hoodie on, mask on, glasses, hat. But it's still COVID time, so people will still wear a mask. He has to do. He's directing Black Panther 2 right now, so he has to wear a mask. So he has to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So. But apparently the note said, I'm withdrawing $12,000 of my personal account. I heard he gave his ID in. He had to put in his own PIN, but then something flagged in the system that he was could be a bank robber or something to that effect. I don't know any bank robbers that's going to say, I'm taking money out of my personal account.
Okay.
And then he said he asked for discretion because there's wolves outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be count $12,000 in cash, then hand it to me, then somebody watching me go back to my car or something. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Somebody watching me go back to my car. So I understand the move, but it's kind of sad because the bank teller was black, the one who called the police. Mm-hmm. The cops were black. The security guards were black. Everybody in that situation were black.
Okay.
And we just didn't allow for ourselves to have that kind of the leeway.
I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate with that.
Go ahead.
All right, this happened. I think somebody said this actually happened in January.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we're just hearing about it now or something to that effect. So if in January the mandates were still on, and the masks are still on in certain places, it is a little weird. You know what I mean? To hand somebody a note that basically says, shh, I'm getting my own money.
Right.
And if you don't know how long the bank teller has been there, that may have been something that just triggered her because they train them when you get these notes, here is the protocol. Now, obviously, he gave you his name. Doesn't mean it's really his name.
Right.
Gave you a pen number. Doesn't really mean it's really his pen number. He could have had somebody else, the real person, in the car, strapped up, and came in. You don't see who he is.
Okay.
So he's got the mask on, and this is me, give me the money. And to be on the safer side of things. Now, I'm not pulling my Beverly Hills card.
Thank you.
Because you Negro, I'm not doing that. Yeah. I'm simply saying in the heat of the moment, that's just a little odd and weird. Had he just did like this.
I think he wrote it on the back of his withdrawal slip, right? So, also, he said that because he was talking to the cops afterwards. He said they kept coming out saying, yeah, we got you. So if you're not... I would say, sure, she had to kind of pick up on something. He's not nervous. It's not like he's not like, yo, what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's pressing her to go, hurry that up. If you out there, if you robbing the bank, you're not going to be out there waiting, just kind of like.
That's true, too. You know
what I'm saying?
That should breed common sense.
Yeah.
Maybe the cops were already called, though, at that point. Maybe they triggered the cops, and then they kept looking at, this nigga's still here. Sir, we're handling your business. Who knows? I'm just trying to look at
Atlanta. I feel like Atlanta, you should be used to black people taking out large sums of money.
Yeah.
That too.
And because there were no white people involved, I can't immediately say they clearly saw this nigger in the bank with a mask on, a big burly nigga with a mask, passing an aggressive. It wasn't just a regular check he wrote on. This was an aggressive nigger check. You know what I'm saying? With big nigger words on it. Which frightened me, and as a result, I hit the button under the bottom. I can't say none of that.
It is a lot there. It is a lot there.
It's a lot, just a lot.
It is a lot there.
I like the way he dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of because you know us, we always want to play victim. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
no, he said, him and Bank of America, they worked it out to his, satisfaction.
They took care of him. Because had that happened to me. Because, I'm about to blow. I go in with my little egg. Because I'm going to need 150,000. Because I saw this chick on Instagram. And she only messed with ballers. Yeah, 150,000 in like stacks of 100. and I want you to give it to me the way the rappers have it. I want to come out right. And can y'all take a picture of me in the bank? We're holding up my money, and then my family's gonna have a meeting and say, I'm
trying to.
Money's missing.
I'm trying to understand because somebody just asked like, why is he writing? I'm trying to because. You've been to a bank. You took out a lot of money at the bank.
No, I've never taken out a lot of money.
You took more than $1,000 at the bank.
The most I've taken out is $30. They don't even look me in the face. They go, "He is not here to rob." And then they look at my account and look at me.
That too.
Pretty girl too. Look at me. Look at my account.
Ooh.
Oh, you only have 27.42. How you wanna? Let me get 2 5. Say it again louder, sir. Bitch, give me 2 5s or 10 and Western ones. Stop making a scene around here. All right. And put that shit in an envelope. Fluff that shit up. Bend that shit over. Fold that shit. Fuck wrong with you, lady? Fuck. Struggling around here and shit. And I ain't coming back to you either, because now you know too much of my business.
Yeah. I just lost a customer.
You just lost a loyal customer. Been coming here my whole life with my Social Security check. You know what? I'm moving my shit to another bank, because I don't like the service around here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna act a fool.
Somebody said, "Why do you need 12,000?" Who knows? He's director. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. He might have been going to the strip club, nigga.
True.
Drop a few ones.
Facts. Okay.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
I'm the type, I go, my man was telling me he was with them BMF niggas, and they would give everybody money. And that nigga would say, I dropped a few. Like, yeah. He said, I kept my money in my, I'm the type nigga be bending down, picking that shit up, walking out with my money and shit.
The first, I want to say one of the first times I went to the strip club, my man was in there. He came in with $20. He left with $40.
Oh yeah. That's where that shit goes. Pick that shit up.
Yeah.
I'm sliding that motherfucking 10 in her thong, and I'm sliding the 20 out, baby. Yeah, girl. Shit.
Oh man.
She's like, damn, I swore I had a little bit more money than that. No, fuck that.
Yeah. So this, on the scale of what's important in the world, what we're about to talk about now is not important. But I just thought it was a great conversation. Right?
Yeah.
So people are mad at Kim Kardashian right now because somebody asked her for business advice for women in business. And basically said, yo, get up off your ass and work. Nobody wants to work. And then I think the other one was like, yeah, it's so hard to find good people to work nowadays. So now everybody's coming out the woodworks. Old interns, old employees, everybody's coming out the woodwork yo.
And I tried to defend that earlier until I heard her complete statement.
Yeah.
You lazy, you just don't want to fucking work.
Yeah.
I'm like, Kim, come on, man. Are you serious? So that was real bad.
Yeah.
And they're going to come after her
and
heavy.
There were people who actually started who actually were really integral parts in their companies, businesses and stuff like that. And it was yo, show me one of your products, how you put that together. Not something you signed off on, but something
show
you put together.
From A to Z, something you worked on, built, put the design together.
And then there was I bet you can't.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying? They was going in, and I completely understood. And especially nowadays with people, they want to give business advice and stuff like that, and they don't give anything tangible.
Yes.
It's annoying.
It is.
Work hard. Just grind.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Yeah, all these blanket statements. What the fuck does that mean? This shit. Absolutely.
You gotta hustle.
And there are a lot of women entrepreneurs emerging.
Yes.
In this day and time. You know what I'm saying? Women finding their space and making it happen. So for her to make that kind of statement, that's just bad.
Yeah, it is.
Kim, come on now. I try to support you. You get a few brothers out of prison and...
Somebody said that's Diddy. Yeah, that is, yeah, Diddy be wildin'.
Yeah, he definitely be wildin'.
He be wildin'.
You just gotta grind, son. You from sun up to sundown. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just thought it was for interesting conversation because...
No, it is interesting conversation. I'm hearing your girl Rihanna's opening up what's the name of her piece?
Fenty or Savage Fenty?
Yeah, in Brooklyn. I heard she's opening up shops, but the biggest flagship is going to be in Brooklyn.
Nice.
I also heard a Slutty Vegan is coming to Brooklyn.
Whoa, really?
Yep, downtown Brooklyn.
Oh.
Slutty Vegan.
Okay.
So
yeah, I went out there. I had that the first time when I went out.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to have it, but
it was good.
They're expanding what they do, so I will make a trip when it's supposed to be this spring too.
Oh, nice. I had a ho boy, not a po' boy.
A po' boy, but a ho boy.
Ho boy, because everything is like
Yeah.
stupid slut and slutty drink and slutty sauce.
Yeah. What was the concept behind that?
I don't know, but it was funny. I got called the slut when I walked in, and the slut when I walked out.
Right, you were offended? No?
No, good times, good times.
Because you understood it was good times.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
Totally got it. Oh, real quick, shout out to Aaron Cromartie and his son Elijah. Elijah decided he is going to a prep school.
Yes.
So that's dope.
Back that up.
Super dope. He's going to one of the top prep schools in Connecticut. He'll have 2 years to be a starter to get more college looks. Super dope.
Sometimes you got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward.
And sometimes, like,
and that prep school, you get the best looks. I like it. I like it. I like it.
That's really dope.
And Aaron, come on, you continue to do an amazing job as a dad. From one dad to another dad, I recognize the time and energy that you put in. And when he throws his first game-winning touchdown in the NFL, he's going to thank his mother.
Yeah.
So don't take that. Thank you, Mom, for being there. You sitting there, motherfucker. I'm the one who got up at 4 in the morning. And don't take it. Just is what it is. But we appreciate what it is that you do, because there are a lot of great dads out here. You know what I mean? Who just on their grind, doing their job, making it happen.
Yeah, listen, I can only imagine how proud he is. Listen, the other day, I was doing flashcards with Noble. He's saying the letters, and then he said, like, you know,
dude, that's an accomplishment.
You know how happy I was all day. I was watching that video all day long.
Absolutely.
So, imagine the first time he scored a touchdown or score a bucket in the game. I might wild out at the game. They might have to ask me to leave.
These are all small victories that lead up to the big victories. Nah, they all count. They all count. They all matter. And so great job to all the dads out there. Salute you guys. And I don't have to salute the moms. The moms already know where we stand with you mothers who have done so much to hold the family down.
Facts.
We have a family business here.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? And everyone has a role to play. Everyone respects their roles. And we enjoy what it is that we do as a collective. And we're always glad to share those moments with you.
All facts.
All facts. You heard?
Somebody said, let Noble wrestle first sport. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I heard wrestling is a good sport. It keeps you in shape.
Yeah. Don't have me go down there and fuck somebody's kid up now.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm one of them grandparents.
Yeah.
I'll get in the circle and challenge another grandparent. You know what I mean? Like me and Noble against you and you. What's up with that?
Old man.
Yeah. What's up with that? Nah.
I was about to say. So, did you hear about Chris Brown?
Something about he's keeping the receipts.
Listen.
Girl.
So, he was accused of rape. Apparently, somebody accused him of drugging and raping her on, I think, a yacht in front of Diddy's crib.
Right. A yacht that was docked in front of Diddy's crib. Yeah.
Right. So apparently, he kept 9 months of text messages and voicemails from the alleged victim, and apparently this was sent like after the alleged attack of her saying, "I want to see you, the best I ever had," and stuff like that. So the girl's lawyer actually withdrew from the case. She's like, "Oh, I ain't know about none of that." So withdrew, and people owe him an apology.
Cool.
That's dope.
Yeah. No. Listen, as a celebrity, you have to protect yourself. And I know it sounds creepy, but you have to, because there are people who are out, and women will do some crazy things once they realize that it was just a one-night stand.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to come up. I'm not going to be on Instagram. I'm not going to be on your shoulder. I'm not going to be able to, do what I want to do, because these people have ulterior motives that you couldn't possibly imagine. Not just the women. The guys have different ulterior motives. How to rob you, how to scheme on you, how to get in. So that's their ulterior motive. Try to figure out your schedule, what your team really look like. And a lot of the women, you know, they want to get topped off.
Or dudes hire a girl to get in with you.
These schemes are sophisticated when we're talking large amounts of money. You know what I mean? So it's best, and I know this sounds corny, if your team is A1 and your queen is day one. Ooh, that rhyme.
What you doing?
If your team is A1 and your queen is A1, facts. Then you ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know, so kudos to him. I hope it's something that's admissible. You know,
I think they're dropping it because he said he wants to pursue legal action against her.
Okay.
Which I hope he does.
That's going to be the future when you know you've been falsely accused, because I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe Snoop is in a very similar situation.
Right.
Where he can prove that this is something. So we have to start bringing up legal. Same thing if Karen accused you of, you need to pursue that, because this needs to stop, man. This is not, you know what I mean? That ain't cool.
Yeah, and I haven't heard a lot of the
Drake with the hot sauce. That's a very good point.
If that was even real. But I haven't heard a lot of media coverage around Chris Brown being like vindicated. Like that's crazy.
Right. No, but you'll hear coverage of him being accused. Now they saying Jerry Jones. Some woman has come out and said that's her father. And said he paid the mother not to disclose. Ooh. That's what I'm hearing. Ooh. So, you know, for you Cowboy fans, yeah. But come on, them Cowboy, them owners get away with murder. Your man Robert Kraft had his balls out. That old nigga had his balls out, getting a massage and a happy ending, and nobody even talk about that shit no more. Okay, see, if you a football owner of a team,
he be hanging around with Meek.
He be hanging out with Meek and them shit, you know.
And Jay-Z, yeah.
Jeez, just the thought of that shit. You know what I mean? So, something to think about.
Okay, so I would take a quick commercial break.
Yes, let's do that.
And we shall return.
The names are inspired by men and women that, again, have impacted me, have impacted history. People have done great things, and that's the core of what my business is. I always want to focus and center on Blackness, Black excellence, and the greatness that we've contributed to society. Luxury, Black, inspired.
What we're going to do is visit 2 past lives, life between lives, 5, 10, and 20 years into the future. Welcome back, y'all. Who wants to share first?
I was in the Ming Dynasty era. I was a man.
I was a crystal healer. They were showing me like picking roots and plants and stuff.
So the first life, I believe I was in Egypt. I was in front of like this tall grass field, and I was just like studying the grass and watching it sway. And I was very big. I was green and I was tall.
You know, with the Lion King, when Simba went on top of the mountain and oversee everything, I was a deer on a hill on top like that, and I was just like, wow.
I go through another portal, and this time I'm underwater. I'm in my mid-50s. I can breathe underwater. I have paws, and I can glow. I'm bioluminescent. I transition into this other body. I was a man. I was lanky. Had like this best friend that was a bear, and I could talk to animals.
Back.
We are back. Thank you for supporting our businesses, our listeners who are driving. Get 2 honks real quick. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Honk, honk. You know what I mean? And just continued support here. We appreciate it.
Yes. And if you're watching right now, the commercials that you just saw, the information is in the description below if you want to work with them. So,
yes.
Very dope.
Very dope. Very dope stuff.
You're listening to the sounds of Urban X.
So, guys, unless you've been living under a rock, unless you walk everywhere, you might have noticed these gas prices.
Yeah.
They're high.
Now,
go ahead.
I told my wife, and you tell me if this makes sense.
Okay.
When you get to a half a tank, act like the tank is empty and fill it up from there so that the car will run more efficient. Because your car runs more efficient on the better half of the gas tank.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When it gets to the lower half, the shit is like, yo.
Yeah.
Because the car has a mind of its own. Is this it?
Yeah.
Are they going to fill me back up? Are they paying attention to me? I take them where they want to go. Do they want to feed me? Your car has a mind of its own. I got in the car today in an emergency. Like, what? And there was no gas in the car. I mean, not no gas. The shit come on, you got 30 miles. And I'm like, so now we're in a gas war in my house. Like, who's gonna be the one
budge?
tag? Who's it? So I'm in, because I need the car in the morning.
Yeah, right.
So I'm in, so I gotta go fill it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife used to drive the car, because women do this shit, and bring me the car with like 6 miles left. And I'd be like, this is some, I would never drive around. But now the prices are what they are.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do? And I saw a Trump interview where he said, what are you gonna do prices right now? What are you paying, $2 for gas? He said, Biden gets in, it's gonna be $6, $7. I saw that.
And then he said, then they're gonna tell you to get rid of your car. And
then
what are
they
they
tell
telling
you? Get rid of your cars.
They're telling you, just buy an electric car.
Yeah, yeah.
$6,000, just buy it. I know you can't afford gas, but just buy an electric car. And you know what's crazy? That the gas is up, the gas is high now around the same time they want people to go back into work. So now people are not getting raises in this inflation, so people can't really afford gas to get to work.
One thing leads to another. This gas. And I never look at prices of gas.
True, like,
because I just need it.
If you need it,
like my wife will drive 7 blocks to save 6 cents a gallon, not realizing she just burned the savings going the other 7 blocks. But in her mind, this is cheaper gas. I just pull in. Now, there's a hustle going on at the gas station. I want to share with you. This is what they're doing. They're switching the gas pumps.
Oh, you did say that.
From the top. So you don't really see.
Yeah.
And then what happens is when you pull into the gas station, somebody's already there and they act like they're getting gas too. Soon as you put your shit in, they put their shit in. You start pressing, you filling up their tank. And you sitting there going, man, top my shit off. And you pull off, and you know how you always look at the meter? I'm doing. And when that shit don't go up, you go, what the fuck? You didn't get gas. So always beware of your surroundings. You know what I mean? Because they got so many subtle hustles.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? What I've never really seen this before from any real sitting president. Trump probably did it, but Biden's just going, this is all Russia's fault. I've never seen like a president like not take responsibility for nothing.
Nah, he don't take responsibility for nothing.
When laws don't get passed, he blames Republicans. The gas, he's blaming Russia. If something else happens, he blames everybody but himself. Remember, they were blaming people for not understanding how much he's done. So he was blaming voters. It was crazy.
It's crazy.
It's been crazy. Also, I've never been, I don't know how to word this, but I don't remember a time where people have predicted something like, conspiracy theory and stuff like that, and then you hear it, you internalize it, and then you just see it happening in slow motion. Like, you just see Americans, the world just get walked slowly into it.
Into the conspiracy
It's
theory.
so crazy to me, right?
See, go ahead.
Because, so the other day, I think it was last week, or when the first invasion of Ukraine and stuff started happening, right? Remember, somebody came out and they said, yo, it seems like Putin is only bombing biolabs, right? So that was a thing. And then what happens now in the news is, because things get out so fast, they actually cover what they would never cover before. They cover the actual conspiracy theories now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or, theories, I'm put that in quotation marks. So they actually cover that stuff now, right? And then you get fact checkers on it, and they say, well, we don't got there's no biolabs there. Why would we care? So that was the thing. So the fact checkers came out and said the U.S. doesn't have any biolabs in Ukraine, things like that. Then they came out, apparently, they're worried that Russia is going to take hold of these biolabs and the contents inside of them, and they worried that they're going to see. Wait, which one was it?
Yes, in real time.
Which one was it?
I thought we didn't have no biolabs over there. Now it is a fact.
But now it's they're wording it. Well, we don't have any biological weapons, and we're not developing.
But we do have biolabs.
But there's biolabs out there, and they didn't secure the contents of them before they knew. Even though they knew that an invasion was coming per se. It's crazy.
But again, I told you, when the elders were teaching this, they were from another tomorrow. So originally, when I got my downloads of this stuff, it took 20 years for a lot of that stuff to manifest. Now that shit is manifesting in real time. We're in the what?
Quickening.
We're in the quickening, man. Yeah. So a conspiracy theory come out, but because information is traveling so fast, we get it right. Boom! Damn, that was wow. Right? We told you that was parasites in those in that candy.
Allegedly.
Right? Or we told you that one of the chemists saw something, look back at him. That's some spooky shit, bro.
Yeah.
You're looking under the micro lab and some shit go. And now we're finding that allegedly there's some kind of worms that when your body heat up, these worms are activated and they're eating your body, and and now that here's another smooth thing, y'all was all following the science. Pfizer's dropping the science now, and it's quiet.
Oh, bro, I saw one page.
It's quiet out there.
Yeah. That's. But I saw these stack of pages. It was on this show called The Rising on YouTube, and he had 266 pages of of NIH documents, all redacted. The first page, and I think page 150 was the only one not redacted. Everything else was grayed out.
Why is that?
And mind you, they're supposed to be giving up, I think, 500 pages a month to them, but they just blacking everything out.
Yeah. Because it didn't say how we should give it up.
Yeah.
So now you're just giving me pages of blacked out stuff that I can't use.
Yeah.
Semantics is getting. This is getting crazy, man. I'm leaving Earth, man.
And again, remember when all of this kind of first started, right? Pandemic, everything first started. People said, "Yo, this is a plan to crash the financial system, to go to a new system of digital money to where they control everything," right? So again, that was the thing, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened in between. But then it's these moments like Biden just signed an executive order for cryptocurrency the other day.
Yes.
Right? And then he even said that he's going to recommend the Fed come out with something digital.
Son, you can see that one coming a mile away.
But it's just like, yo, son, like we're seeing countries kind of blatantly on purpose bankrupt their own nation for some reason. It's so wild.
Yeah.
And then you just see it happening, and it's like, yo, this is crazy.
This is a new day and time. And remember, we spoke about moving a people from analog to digital. Let's just use that as the terminology. It's a rough process, but it's a shift And in that shift, some calamities have to happen to bring about the time needed to bring about, but there's always windows to make money. Because you think they're going to let you Negroes create your own Negro coins where you Negroes could just get out of here. You see what I'm saying? No, they're not. So it's fun. I saw 19 Keys and Earn Your Leisure on the Breakfast Club this morning and stuff. And they were going through understanding, having the proper knowledge. I totally agree. But these are windows open where we can understand some things, but it's also windows open to take advantage. The new Federal Reserve, because it's called the CB, the Federal something. They even got a name for the damn coin or the system that they're trying to create. It's a 4-digit. I want you to keep that in mind. It is a 4-digit, a 4-letter code, which is usually not the case. It's usually FBI, CIA, DIA. So now this is a 4-digit joint, and that may also have something to do with it. But they're moving this joint on.
Quick. And then remember, I spoke about this on Monday, that it's like you're hearing more chatter about the like climate change.
CB, DC. Thank you, Rand. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. Yep.
And remember, we talked about that they kind of ramping back up the climate change talk again, and Biden cut off. He banned oil from Russia, but then he doesn't want to open the Keystone Pipeline. So people are just like, "What are you trying to do here?"
Yeah.
And then remember, they said that they were trying to get zero emission, something to that effect, by 2050. That's quick in the grand scheme of getting everybody turned over.
Yeah. And somebody else said that Central Bank Digital Coin. Thank you. Central Bank Digital Coin. Thank you. This is probably the only podcast where the audience is smarter than the host.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Now, I heard those electric cars is worse than fossil fuel. Because the energy emitted to charge that shit up is still sending off. It's a big hoax.
Well, remember,
the whole thing is a hoax.
I don't know if you guys remember. Didn't China get access to these mines, these cobalt mines that are usually the main material to build these electric cars?
I'm
not
sure.
It's something to that effect. So pay attention to that as well. So if we are going straight to just electric everything, we just kind of cleared the lane for China to run the world damn near, basically.
Somebody said them batteries that's in them electric cars or the charging energy is still emitting, it ain't free energy. If it ain't Tesla shit where you just harness your shit into the frequency of the universe and take off, then the rest of that shit is bullshit. And that's how you enslave a people and keep a people 1,000 years, 10,000 years technologically behind where we should be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Problem with electric cars is what will happen if there ever is a blackout. Perfect example. That's a perfect example. Because if you're not just on the original grid, it's a wrap. Now nothing moves. You know what I'm saying? You ain't pay your... And they even talking about electric streets, meaning you charge your car, the further you go, and they just shut your shit off. Dotting pay in the middle of the highway, my shit just shut off. I can't start it. I can't do nothing.
Or think about EMP, knock out everything.
Yeah.
This is
because the level of war now is they knocking satellites out the sky. We understand HAARP, that's been around for years. Weather modification. Now, because they convinced all of you people, and I'm gonna say this again, put some money under the mattress. That's just it. Keep some hardcore cash, because if everybody's rushing the bank because a fear of something, all they got to do is put out a little bit of fear, and everybody gonna rush to the bank. The bank can't hold but a few dollars.
Yeah.
They done used your money to make themselves rich. You know what I mean? So keep some cash under the blanket. Peace and blessing to Urban X Nation. from Melbourne, Australia, showing the show a bit late, but
Thank
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. I come from a land down under. That was my favorite songs. Yeah. We need solar cars. Yeah.
What do y'all think about, I don't know if you guys heard this, but Meta, formerly Facebook, they changed their terms and conditions when it comes to hate speech to allow for hate speech against Russia. Like, you could go on Facebook and say Putin needs to be assassinated.
So you can't say
okay.
you can't say F the president.
No.
None of that. But you can say F Putin.
Yeah.
That's how you know the fix is in.
Yeah.
Dude, they laid it out for you plain to see. We will allow this because this is a part of the agenda. We have the new boogeyman for you guys. Sit back, relax. March Madness is getting ready to start. Get ready for your favorite team. We got a few other distractions coming for you. Don't worry about it. But we have the boogeyman in place to put him on a platter. So because we're not the problem. Obviously, he is the problem. Now, growing up, I was telling Malcolm as a kid, and if you my age and more, you know, the number one enemy America had was Russia. Mm-hmm. It was the USSR, and they had us so afraid of Russia. We didn't know nothing about it, but we don't want to be communists. And we did them little nuclear blast tests where you get up under the, under the desk. Don't ask me what the fuck that was for. You know what I mean? But you get up under the desk and all run to this part of the hallway. So I'm just giving it up.
Yeah, it's cold.
So now,
Cold War. Yeah.
Cold War. So here we are, full circle, and now we have the new boogeyman.
Oh man, it's crazy.
So and not only we're gonna break our own rules because it's unethical what they're doing here. For them to say, you could say F him, but you can't say F this one. You can't. Better not talk about the small hats,
bro. There was actually news stories because remember we spoke about all the fake stories that have been run about Ukraine and Russia and stuff like that. The ghost of I say the word wrong all the time, but all these fake stories, all these fake heroic stories and stuff like that. News stations, mainstream news stations are actually running these stories, right? And when people go, yo, this is fake, a couple of them said, well, because it's leaning towards Ukraine, we allow that because it gives hope, it sets the right narrative. That's fake news, mind you. They were just going in on misinformation. You will be a domestic terrorist. You can be deplatformed. People were calling for you to get deplatformed. If you spoke about misinformation, people were taking their music on Spotify for Joe Rogan.
Jab or anything that America's pushing, bro, you going down. But we're gonna allow in this case. This is such an open and shut case.
This is nuts.
This is propaganda at its best,
bro. McDonald's shut down in Russia. McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because why?
Yeah, but
McDonald's, Facebook, and everything. And again, I said this on Monday that if Putin, if he's getting cut off from everything, like they're completely trying to isolate him, and he's still moving forward.
His money's in crypto.
Gotta be, but something he must know something. And even crypto, right? The government is trying their hardest. Going back to this, because he just signed two executive orders, I believe, about it. If the government is trying their hardest to get into something. There's a disconnect there as well because I understand that you need to have a decentralized wallet, not something on Robinhood or Coinbase. You need something away from that. I get that. But we still aren't really buying stuff with Bitcoin yet.
Yeah, I mean, we are, but not to that capacity.
Not directly, not to that capacity where like Apple is...
Problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah.
What's the game plan? What are they really aiming for with this?
Yeah. The jury's still out on that.
The jury is still out. Will this lead to World War III? You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? That they got politicians damn near calling for World War III and have people, their constituents, calling for it too, or they indirectly calling for World War III, right? Because it was a big protest, shut down the sky, close the sky because they're calling for a no-fly zone in Ukraine. Again, if you call for a no-fly zone, you have to enforce that.
Right.
That means if a Russian jet flies,
it's going to be a problem.
You have to.
We got to shoot that down.
You have to engage and shoot that down, which is an act of war. That means you're ready to go for it all. Mind you, they have nuclear weapons. We have nuclear weapons. We don't want a nuclear war, right?
Right. We don't.
But you have people. You have Hillary Clinton who would never go to war. She's not herself not going to war. Her kids, her grandkids, her friends' kids are not going to war.
Going to war.
But is quick to come out and say we need a no-fly zone. We need to be, doing more.
Again, the elders always teach us around the equinox time is when they like to. And now we're in Aries, right?
Soon.
We're going into Aries soon, which is Mars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And 322, we know that's the Skull and Bones number. So I watched that date. From that date to April 19th, which is Hitler's birthday, around that time, they do these huge blood sacrifices.
Speaking of Hitler, right? In Ukraine, there's some of their forces are straight neo-Nazis.
Really?
Straight neo-Nazis. And America's been funding them for years. We just rushed $13 billion to Ukraine for their war efforts.
But they don't have enough to end student loans.
Nah.
Right? They don't have enough money for that. But we just rushed in an emergency.
They need this, yes.
They need this money. Dude.
It's crazy. Follow the money, man.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. And apparently, it was something that was, apparently they found out some Congress people are completely profiting off of this war.
They all profit
stuff
off
like that, but like they're getting caught. But again, nothing will happen.
They all profit. And speaking of us funding,
no, I actually didn't watch Patrick's podcast today. I didn't watch it. I'll check it out though.
Whose podcast?
Patrick Bet-David, some entrepreneur guy I watch.
Oh, okay,
got really good podcast.
Got you. So that's what's going on, man.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep you guys abreast, but keep that money under the mattress. Because even if you need to just buy water, the cash will always rule, especially in the hood. Mm-hmm. It might cost you $100 for that case of water, but you'll have it. Yes?
Yeah.
So based on whatever, because I only got $27, I took it out. And it is now in my pocket safely, just in case I need to pull a flex move and get to a certain, point. Man, nigga, $27 is gonna get you this much worth of gas.
Yeah.
Boop. Thank you. Needed that.
Yeah.
So, do what you have to do. Keep your eyes open. And, you know what I mean? We will survive this as well. We will survive this because we always survive. Mm-hmm. But pay attention to what this could mean in the future in terms of the money system, in terms of new health protocols, in terms of what Russia will be, and why the fuck should we care what's going on with these the Manhattans and the McCoys? What was them two Western families been fighting for years? The Hattons and the McCoys or something. This is white.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is white folk.
I know what you're talking about. But yeah,
they was warring for years, boy. Them two families.
Yeah.
So
you're listening to the sounds of Urban X.
Funny story. I thought it was funny. Colin Kaepernick is working out still. He's in the best shape of his life.
All right.
He's waiting on the call.
Because he's not going to give up on his dreams.
He's waiting on the call. He hasn't played a snap
in 6 years.
6 to 7 years, but
he's not giving up on the dream.
He's ready.
He's ready. I like it.
The Steelers need a quarterback, and how dare them not give him a workout yet? Or the
Absolutely.
Seahawks need a quarterback. How dare them not give him a
Absolutely.
workout yet? So,
get that man a workout. All that good stuff.
Yeah. He should just go to XFL.
Yeah,
I said that last year, right?
We said that.
But now the XFL has a deal with the NFL.
Right.
If you really want to play, show us what you got there. I mean, because apparently you're in the best shape of your life.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
And then maybe you get an NFL shot.
But the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Hatfields, yeah.
God damn it, my audience is brilliant.
Somebody said, "Yeah, hating on Cap." Yeah, come on, bro. Give it up. Give it up. Every just 6 months you come out.
Yeah.
Shut up, man. Sit down.
Shut up.
Sit the hell down.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So Akon, remember he was supposed to be building his Akon city, his futuristic city.
He had the A-coin and stuff.
A-coin and stuff like that. Well, his ex-business partner is actually suing him for $4 million, but called it basically a big Ponzi scheme. This crypto, I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been watching stories of these influencers, because a lot of influencers are getting sued now because of crypto and NFT stuff like that. And I'm just like, yo, I don't know if it's deliberate how fast people are getting scammed so they can regulate it. You know what I'm saying?
Could be.
And I'm not sure if, like, I see the idea of, decentralized money. I see the idea, but I'm not sure. It's
so
like
you mean
fully
he had no
fleshed out.
connection with China?
No, he does. I think they bankrolling it.
But he decided to add his own little side hustle that with the A-coin and all that kind of stuff.
Listen.
And now his business partner has exposed him.
So this is from page 6. It said his ex-business partner, Divine Stevens, said he's asking the judge to freeze all of Akon's Big Apple assets, claiming that without the freeze, he'd have the difficulty of collecting the debt, given Akon's alleged history of shady practices. According to papers filed in Manhattan Supreme Court on Monday, Akon's $6 billion project to turn an oceanfront village in Senegal into a, what does that say?
Sound it out.
Wakanda-like city will run a cryptocurrency called Acorn. An example of this, Acorn, Stevens' lawyer said it's alleged citing findings that the retired federal special agent, and basically it's a bunch of sham. It's a sham, all of it.
Well, a lot of these people, like we said, put their name on stuff without them doing due diligence.
Yes, it said apparently the city and the coin and stuff like that share many of what it calls trademark characteristics known as red flags of fraudulent business ventures such as a Ponzi scheme and pyramid scheme.
Yeah, Yaman Staples.
All of the
Yamaha said this this NFT is a Ponzi scheme, which meant that I'm a part right now. Full transparency, as a part of a Ponzi scheme. I gotta come clean. She snapped the lid on this. I was paid a certain amount.
Oh my God.
To wear that T-shirt on Monday's show, and I got paid in advance to pump money into this scheme. No, I get it. But there are people selling digital art, and if you're an artist and you render something to somebody, what gives anything value is your belief that it has value. Now, the NFT, I'm not so sure is a scheme because you're paying for the actual picture.
No, hold on, Static Vibes. It says Wakanda-like city in the actual article. That's funny.
Yeah. But I can understand how people are getting rich quick, because I got NFTs. I got one sitting right here.
Oh, yes.
I ain't scammy. Homie got his. You know what I mean? So, and this was just me trying to figure out, and I still don't know what the hell's going on. But they said, make your art digital and this and that. And, so, yeah.
And remember, they renamed Staples Center Crypto.com. So something is happening. Something will happen.
Something is happening.
Something is happening. Something will happen, but,
And we either be on the front end of it or the back end of it.
Facts. But
commercial break?
Yeah. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Let's do that, and we shall return.
Yeah.
What up? Peace. Urban X Nation, if you are not already a member, now is the time to become a member to our exclusive membership at urbanx.nyc, where you're going to get a bunch of exclusive footage by the #1 father and son team on the planet. Let me tell you what we're going to get.
So first, every morning, Monday through Friday, you get a morning message from me, inspirational, to keep everybody hitting their goals. What else we got?
We got the after show, where it's unadulterated, unscripted, uncensored information, and you also hear from Mama Dot.
We also have the Real Mentality coming. That is a show specifically to get the male point of view, to get a real man point of view, all male cast, and we have some special guests coming as well.
And the Black Dot will be teaching master classes. That's right, master classes on the subject of hip hop and all other things connected to Urban Decoded.
And a bunch of many hours of extra content we have that we just put up on the membership just exclusively for you.
So we need you to click the link below. Where's it? Yep. Right there below. Click that link below. Join and let's get rocking. Peace. What makes a great t-shirt? Is it fashion, fit, comfort? Is it what's printed on the front of the shirt? Whether it's a humorous message, political, or a social statement made to bring awareness to a noble cause? At Urban X TV, we believe that all of those things make a great t-shirt and then some. So we wanted to create a t-shirt line that was a little bolder, a little bit more challenging, one that stepped out of the boundaries. So we decided to introduce to you our Not So Subtleties. It's one that speaks to the sentiments of what's going on in our environment today. It's one that will spark conversation. So log on to urbanx.nyc to pick up your Not So Subtleties today, or shop urbanx.com to pick up the latest in urban apparel. We thank you for your support. Peace. We are back in the mix.
Shouts out to the chat, man. Shouts out to our mods. We appreciate you.
Yeah, can we hit them like buttons?
Hit the like button.
Please.
So I thought this is a pretty cool story. So apparently New York is going to initially limit eligibility for marijuana dispensary licenses to those previously convicted to weed offenses.
What do you mean?
If you got arrested for anything related to weed, you're going to be one of the first people to be able to get a dispensary license.
All right. That's retribution.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I like it. What if I shot 7 people because they ran up in my weed spot? That's different because that's murder.
Yeah.
All right. That don't count.
I don't think that
but
counts.
Weed, when you shouldn't have been in jail for that long anyway.
Yeah, and if you decriminalize something to where it can be lucrative.
Yes.
And I got arrested for it. That is fair.
Yes.
That is fair.
No, I think that's fair. And what that does is it gives these brothers and sisters who spent countless, years behind the wall an opportunity, if their finances are in order and they go through the vigorous, loopholes that are going to be put in place to satisfy New York law.
Also, but because somebody even mentioned in the chat, probably like the prices of these licenses are probably going to be
astronomical. Yes.
But if you have it, or you can band together with a few people to get one and things like that, because I'm sure the hoops and stuff are going to be massive. Because I remember the first time I saw a dispensary downtown, I was like, I feel like this just was like legal, you know what I'm saying? And it's a few downtown immediately.
But because they be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I was just like,
and
whoa.
staying abreast of the laws. And as soon as the law loosens up, they got their whole factory because they got their money in place.
I met this dude. Remember that business conference I went to last year?
Yeah.
I met this dude who I think he owns like a few of them in Detroit.
I told you to plug me into him.
Actually, I got his number. So
we can do business, bro. You keep, you know what I mean?
I got his number. And he was just like, yo, everybody come to me to figure out, like, to help them get their licenses through. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Somebody said $250 in Boston just for the application. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the effort, at least on the surface, is being made.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I like it.
So, that's cool.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, going back to this whole Russia-Ukraine thing for a second, because when we talk about information and where you can get just kind of unfiltered information when you want to learn about these things, right? Because Twitter's not going to do it, Facebook's not going to. Everybody is slanted to one side or the other.
Okay.
So people were trying to, because Google's not really reliable either, because Google filters out a lot of what they show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a result of that, people started going to DuckDuckGo. You were doing the same thing as well.
Yeah. I go to I don't use Google. I use DuckDuckGo.
Recently on Twitter, the CEO of DuckDuckGo came out and kind of said something to the effect of, hold on. I wanted to show you exactly what he said because I was bothered by it. He said, like so many others, his name is Gabriel Weinberg. Like so many others, I am sickened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the gigantic humanitarian crisis that it continues to create. #Stand with Ukraine. At DuckDuckGo, we've been rolling out search updates that downrate sites associated with Russian disinformation.
Okay, so now
they've been compromised.
Everybody's been compromised. And listen, we just saw the biggest propaganda ever committed against humanity 2 years ago. And we saw every component involved with it. We're seeing it again. They're not even giving you a chance to breathe. We just coming out of a pandemic. And now when you get all of these corporations lined up like this, I keep telling y'all, stop following the masses. The masses are asses. This is all propaganda. I don't care what they tell you. We must take a stand. Y'all just said the same thing about that candy, and now the truth is coming out about that candy.
Oh, and ain't nobody's reporting on it either.
And ain't nobody reporting on it, right? So you're gonna find the same thing with this Ukraine thing in a year or two.
Oh yeah,
same thing.
But you know what's crazy? There's a few people who are like, I don't know, they getting in the cracks and getting on like news sites and stuff like that because they asked a UFC fighter about how he felt about the Ukraine stuff situation. He goes, yeah, I'm not going over there. He said, I'm fighting for where I'm from. He said, but I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. He said, because Biden and his son, they were getting money out of Ukraine.
Absolutely.
I was like, whoa. Dude from Arkansas. I was like, oh, okay.
Then they had this dude from Detroit who decided, black guy, he wants to go to Ukraine and fight. You mean all that damn crime in Detroit?
Fight that.
And you're not willing to fight that and you're willing to go to Ukraine and fight? Man, geesh. This is ridiculous.
Somebody say DuckDuckGo is going public, so they have been compromised. Yeah, it happens.
They're going public
He
now?
actually went on. He said, in addition to downranking sites associated with disinformation, we also often place news modules and information boxes at the top of DuckDuckGo's search results where they can be seen and clicked the most and highlighted quality information for rapidly unfolding topics. Basically,
okay. All right.
We are curating what we feel is the news or the news what we want people to see.
So
That's
it don't matter if I go to DuckDuckGo anymore. I need a VPR, a VRP, a VPN. VNRP.
You saying it and you might be saying it wrong. I think you're saying it wrong and you're confusing me.
No, my people will help me, Malcolm. I'm using one of my lifelines.
You're confusing me.
A VPN.
Yeah.
That's like a very private network.
I think you made that up. But.
No, that's probably what it stands for. Very private network. Yeah. I need one of those.
Okay.
I need one of those. Yep.
People are in uproar right now over Florida's they're calling it the Don't Say Gay bill. It's basically they're not allowing conversations of sexual identity and stuff like that in schools from I think kindergarten to third grade.
Okay.
So
you can't say gay.
It's
from kindergarten to third grade.
It doesn't say straight in the thing as well, in the bill as well.
Okay, but you don't have to say straight. That's just a natural thing.
But it's just talking about all sexual identity from kindergarten to third grade.
Listen, I think that's too early to be talking to kids about that kind of stuff anyway.
What if a kid has two mommies, two daddies?
Well, if they have two mommies or two daddies,
it's sticky. It's sticky because it's kind of.
You just have to explain to your child, right? When two ladies do the scissors. Secretion from one lady can fall into the deposit box of the other lady, creating a weird effect in her uterus, creating a biochemical disturbance, therefore creating the illusion that she is pregnant, and as a result of this action, she gives.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I think you can find that out there.
If you don't stop him within like 5 seconds, he's gonna go to a level where it's just like really hard to stop him.
I'm trying to reach for the, you know.
Yeah, and don't laugh because he feeds off of the laugh,
That's
and then
what it is.
he keeps going.
I was waiting for the laugh so I could add some extra scientific data.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I mean, that's how I was explaining it to my third grader. And, you know, she came home, or 2 kids have 2 mommies.
Yeah.
How did they have that
You know,
baby?
in Idaho, actually, the governor has signed a law banning transgender surgeries to minors which I agree with.
I agree with that, too.
I completely agree with it. I don't think they're old enough to make that a life permanent changing decision as a teenager when their brain is still really developing. If you feel like
Absolutely.
that after 18, do you think?
Right, yeah.
And I even think that's a little still too.
I have a lot of support in the chat.
Y'all are
of
crazy.
people who understand the secretion science.
Y'all are crazy.
Okay?
Right now, what was somebody saying?
Well, it's going to create a biochemical
Y'all crazy.
disturbance.
Stop egging them on,
which
D.
brings about a uterine explosion.
Stop egging them on. Apparently,
Imbalances hormonal, which will.
God.
But look that up, guys, on YouTube.
Aaris said 18 is still too young. I think so too. Probably after 21.
Yeah, but they consider you an adult at that age.
Yeah.
And at least you can say by 18 you should have some goddamn common sense.
Yeah.
And you know, so yeah.
You know, Disney employees are saying at Pixar that Disney actually censored a lot of their overtly gay scenes in Pixar movies.
Really?
So staff members are upset about that. There's a lot of stuff happening, and it's again Ukraine. You know, world's supposed to be at war. About to go to World War III. Gas prices is high and stuff like that. But the LGBTQIA plus community is finding a way to make sure this is about them.
It always is. It always is. It always is.
So watch out for that. Mark Hamill, if you guys know him, you know who Mark Hamill is? It's Luke Skywalker.
The original Luke Skywalker?
Okay. Luke Skywalker. He tweeted the word gay like 1,000 times. It's like, you won't erase this word, Florida. And they're making Florida seem like the most homophobic state in the world. And, you know.
If the only difference between you and me is your sexual preference, I don't see why you deserve special treatment. Oh, it's deeper than that?
That's a bar. No, that's a bar. I like it.
It is not. It is not deeper than that. If you breathe like I do, you shit like I do, you walk like I do, you work like I do, you think like I do. We don't think the same. You know, so I have to deal with the same challenges you have to. You don't have to go through a special entrance. We're not talking disabled. You know what I'm saying? Where you need special attention. No, you do the scissors. And okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I could do the male one. That'd be gross.
No.
That would be gross.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker said that. Mark Hamill said that. I saw something else. Oh, did the anti-lynching bill pass? Yeah, it did. I think it did pass through the Senate, as a matter of fact. But yeah, they're making it a mess. They're making it a mess, and they are trying to convolute issues like they always do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear the male version of that?
No, I wouldn't.
You're listening
You
to
sure?
the sounds of Urban X.
That one is really scientific.
So I remember we spoke about the juror in the Ghislaine Maxwell case.
Yes.
Right. Now the juror apparently is being offered amnesty because he's gonna have to go back and to kind of testify if he lied to get on the jury or not. Now again, could be a massive.
I told y'all.
A game plan to where now if he gets off now, so now he's not even gonna be in trouble.
He's not even gonna be in trouble.
So the Ghislaine Maxwell's team is calling for a retrial. So we weren't given a fair and impartial jury, and then who knows what that could bring about. So crazy.
Yeah, Butu something said they should be given special treatment because they are disabled. That's a bar. But are they disabled or are they just, you know what I mean? They can run and jump and think and, you know, do everything. I don't see the disabledness.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah.
Maybe as a mental illness, but, you know.
I mean,
that's something else.
I'm not gonna go there.
No, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
So
I think I've went there enough tonight.
Yeah. You had issues. So yeah, the Ghislaine Maxwell thing.
Yeah, I told y'all. I laid that out for y'all. That's to me, that was in the cards the whole time. And now he has immunity. It's a wrap. You can't even charge him now and say he did. No, I have immunity.
That was a long play. That was crazy.
Dude, but they had a long time to think about the play.
Yeah, oh man.
You know what I mean? Like she didn't just get arrested and then no, she was home for a while and then she sat there for a while and she got the best lawyers in the world because they all go to Epstein's Island. I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.
You see what I'm saying? So that ain't nothing. And they cooked this up. They found him a sucker, you know what I'm saying, who was gonna be willing to just so happen to, after the trial, be overheard talking by reporters about how he was sexually abused, and he used that to help sway the jury. Well, what? Wait, what? You see what I'm saying? And now he has immunity? It's like them two security guards in the Epstein trial.
Well, they got
no charges.
They didn't get no charges?
No. And now they probably got nice houses in Long Island. Trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro. Or they got scared so bad. You know what I mean? They scare you so bad that you be like, if you say anything.
Yeah, we will disappear your ass.
We will disappear your ass.
Yeah.
And, you know, just so happened, both cameras were out and they were asleep while he died. Crazy. And now his boy, same thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, man. They must think we was born yesterday.
They do.
I know.
You are tuned into the sounds of
Let's get to some questions.
Yeah, let's get some questions, and then we're gonna go to the after show. Did you see Nicki Minaj's interview with Joe Budden?
No, you were telling me about it.
Really, really good. Like, I think it humanized her a lot. She talked about, you know, her pregnancy, her thoughts during motherhood, going through writer's block because she was pregnant. It was a lot. And she even said something that was dope. I'm not gonna lie. She said she didn't want, like, when she was thinking about rapping, she didn't want to say certain things while she was pregnant. You know what I mean?
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
Because she's carrying.
Right.
See, motherhood humanizes you in the sense of not what it does for fathers is different. If you're, you know, a good dad and you have potential, but the mother you're carrying and you start paying attention to things you didn't pay attention to before. And like you said, the normal crazy things she would say to probably get at another chick, and she had to calm all that down. And Cardi B helped her because, not helped her, but occupied a space. Megan Thee Stallion, a lot of these new women rappers came out where she was able to really just enjoy motherhood. She's still the #1 selling female artist. When it comes to rap, I think her money is probably good. She has her man. And, you know, and now let's see what it does to her music. Let's see what it does to her ass jigger.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
But you see what I'm saying?
Because somebody said I sound very gullible. I'm just explaining what I saw. I thought it was a very good interview.
No. I mean, you got to take the interview at face value.
Yeah, I've never been the biggest Nicki fan. So no.
I take these in because motherhood can change you. Yeah. That's why my next statement was, let's see if she continues to jiggle her ass and do all of those gyrating things which made her famous in the first place.
She will.
Huh?
She will.
But then it was all hypocrisy because now you have a daughter, or a son, or whoever, or you know what I mean, that's looking up at you, and this is the image. You know what I'm saying? So let's see where it goes.
NFN Shaka said, "Talk about the Pfizer docs." We talked about that.
I just got the.
Bro, me too. Listen.
I just got the notification that the show is on.
Technology. It wasn't my fault. You seen me when I sent it.
Show is over.
You see what I sent it. You see what I sent it.
All right. Move Malcolm's Employee of the Month picture.
Please. You seen when I sent it.
Off to the side.
But
because wifey's winning.
Yeah, we spoke about the Pfizer docs being released last week, I think.
Yeah, and they're continuing to
release
them.
You're not hearing nothing about this on mainstream media. And I heard somewhere, I saw a video somewhere saying that if it was fraud that pushed the Pfizer vaccine, Moderna vaccine through the FDA, then their immunity gets wiped away because it was fraud.
Okay.
So you'll be able to sue.
It was fraud.
So if it was fraud and they sue, then Pfizer's going out of business. Like that'd be like one of like the biggest lawsuits in the history of the world because
CG, I just launched my T-shirt business.
That's out to you, man.
I'm talking about. When you get it up and running, send me the link because I want to purchase something.
Yeah.
You heard?
Yeah. So that's what's happening. Apparently, hopefully that goes down. But if all of these politicians, all these lawmakers, these media companies, if they are all already bought, then I don't see them. I don't see them really going anywhere.
It will take somebody because there were a lot of independent doctors who have money, who have stature, who was diametrically opposed to what was going on.
Yes, Bosco Blank. Yeah, you sent me that video. Thank you. You sent me that.
So it will require somebody to have the smoking gun.
Mm-hmm.
And if they got the smoking gun, let's see what happens.
All right.
But it was clearly fraud.
Yeah, there's no way that got pushed through.
No way humanly possible
and
that stuff got pushed through like that.
And it was such a concerted effort from everybody. Like
yes,
everybody got paid, bro. Everybody.
Yes. Everybody got paid. Yep.
Sorry if you didn't get the text, man. Listen, we use technology. Sometimes it works.
Sometimes it don't.
But we will, make sure it works next time. Okay?
Yep. With that being said.
I ain't getting no more questions. Hold on.
Okay, get some questions.
Yes, so YouTube is going to play creatives to pre-record their podcast. Yeah, let us know. Because we record our podcast.
What happened?
YouTube is supposed to be paying podcasts to film their joints and get them on YouTube.
I don't know about this. Yeah. YouTube shit is crazy.
Yeah. Malcolm died. Did you guys speak on the black guy, Deshaun Johnson, volunteering to go? Yeah, the guy from Detroit.
Yeah, the guy from Detroit. We did.
Yeah.
All that crime and poverty in Detroit, where he could assemble some real black soldiers to monitor the streets and help the kids get home. No, he don't want to do that. Let's go to Ukraine and help them.
Yes, the guy with the pig heart. Remember we spoke about the first successful pig heart transplant that would happen. He died.
Yeah, he died.
2 months.
2 months. Yeah,
2 months. So
that didn't work.
What else? Somebody said, Nick Cannon, his show got canceled.
Did it?
Yeah. All of the, apologizing and
they still canceled him.
Still canceled the show. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's all right. He's probably got some money put away. And I got two alerts.
Because I sent it twice.
Now the show was on twice.
Yeah, man. Sorry, man.
Yeah, we're going to have a talk. Really talk.
Why no way else got talked about your performance? Huh?
Because I have a hemoglobin
issue. Yeah.
And, so I have built-in excuses.
Yeah.
I'm literally disabled.
Yeah.
I can pull that card.
I always got to talk about your performance, G.
Appreciate all of you here.
Thank you for the super chats as well, man. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Did you guys speak on the immigrant in the Bronx who smeared poop all over the women's face?
Yeah, we did. That was disgusting.
Yeah,
it was too
gross.
Disgusting to speak on.
Yeah, I don't think we spoke on it, but yeah, that was gross.
Yeah.
Listen, the subway system is no man's land right now, man.
Yeah. You don't go down there. You taking a chance. You
and
go
I think
down
that was
there.
at 241st.
Yeah, you taking a chance. You go down there. And he said he would do it again. He said if he had a gun, he would have shot her.
What?
He said that.
Didn't he tell the judge like shit happens as well?
Some crazy,
yeah,
some shit like that. And to me, that either that was a crime of passion, like he knew this chick, or I don't know, or his mental illness level.
Obviously mentally ill.
Yeah, obviously mentally ill.
Said, I didn't see the Shannon Sharp Dame Dash joint.
Now I do have to watch it.
Some people said it was good.
I saw bits and pieces of it. I saw a lot of clips of it.
Yeah, I did hear about Deion Sanders losing 2 toes.
Yeah, because of some blood clot from a previous surgery.
Yeah.
Damn, can he walk?
I would hope.
This is Deion, man.
Yeah. And I heard that surgery happened, I heard the original injury was a turf toe originally years ago.
It said the Nets are up by 40.
Damn. And they was out there cursing Ben Simmons out earlier.
Yeah. Dots on R. Wilson trade. Oh, the Russell Wilson trade. That's a good trade.
That was a move.
That was a good trade because Denver's got a lot of defensive pieces in place.
And offensive.
And offensive pieces, and all they need
that was a move.
Is a competent quarterback. Yes, great move. Great move. I thought he was going to move and get traded to either the Giants or the Jets because his wife, Ciara, she's an entertainer. You know, you got to think about what would be closer for her to work if she wants to work. She might be happy taking care of her kids and, you know, shit, he bringing in great money.
Somebody said it was the jab that made Deion lose his toes because it was blood clot.
I don't want to get into all of that. I don't know for sure. But, you know.
Somebody asked a question. Jay Williams, thank you so much. Diddy and Freddie P, what happened with them? Something recently happened?
I think Freddie P was one of the making of the band members.
Oh, Freddie, yes. Okay.
And he was having suicidal thoughts
okay.
regarding
I forgot
this.
about making the band, yeah.
And that Diddy used him or exploited them in particular.
Well, I don't think anybody thought that any member of the band or Day 26 or Danny King, any one of them had great contracts. And they all come out and say that we've had horrible contracts.
But how's that any different than any other reality show?
Right. So I do feel bad about Freddie because it seems like his life hasn't really...
Yeah. I mean, these things can traumatize you.
Yeah.
When you think you're that close to making it and they send you across the bridge to get milk and I'm shutting the studio down and pit one against each other. That was typical.
That was some great TV.
Just what I never got into it. I wasn't into reality TV. But it does, you know, they do pit one against the other and then reality shows because who wants to watch regular stuff? You need to see some drama.
Oh, yeah.
And he was used as a part of that. I hope he gets the help that he needs to move on with his life. Somebody said, is LeBron season over? Yes. LeBron is deliberately tanking the season now.
Oh, really?
Dude, he had a layup last night and threw it back out. No, he's tanking.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Somebody said they work for that cheesecake. Facts.
Yeah, cheesecake and all that shit Diddy had them doing, you know, humiliating them and shit.
Did you hear about the guy who shot up the police station in Memphis because they killed his friend?
I did hear about
in Minneapolis. That. I did hear about that. Yes.
I did hear about that.
Listen.
I did hear about that.
He snapped and
he snapped. Yep. And you know, again, now I'm watching these same doctors and these surgeon generals who was telling you to take that jab are changing their tone up now. They're saying, well now. It did its job, and you know you might have gotten some effects, and now we want to talk about mental health. So now they're shifting their narrative to, you know, this was a definite thing. It has been proven that those who had the jab stayed out of the hospital a little longer than all kind of crazy.
First off, the way I feel like we've seen how stats are manipulated. You can't believe nothing.
You can't believe any of that shit.
Because I've watched some news sources which I thought were kind of like, you know, impartial to everything. Still kind of pumped that like, well, you know, the vaccine overwhelmingly is effective and stuff like that. I was like, all right, come on. Y'all know. And in the comments, people were just like, come on, bro. Y'all know.
Come on. Yeah.
Y'all know by now. What's up?
Yeah, the Giants have still yet to have a black quarterback. Yeah. In their history, man.
Sign cap.
Wow. Yeah, sign Kaepernick.
Amazon stock is supposedly going to split. I don't know what that means, but apparently it's really good. And everybody's trying to, you know, buy an Amazon stock. So
okay. All right.
And with that being said, guys.
With that being said.
We appreciate y'all, all right?
Yeah, we love you
guys on Monday. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to the website as well because we're going to have some dope information coming out.
Yes.
On Monday.
You know what? No. I'm making an announcement right now.
Make it.
I'm rolling back prices. I'm slashing prices on memberships.
On memberships, you're going to...
I'm slashing everything back to $5.
Oh.
Starting April 1st. Don't fight me on this.
So the people who paid $15.
I'm taking their $15 price and I'm rolling it to $5 starting April 1. Don't fight me on this. Let me tell you why. What I realize is we're in competition with other memberships. Netflix, this,
they just
that,
raise their prices.
that. Everybody's raising their prices. So I felt it, incumbent upon myself.
Okay.
To slash these prices. So, because the reason I picked April 1, because that represents a year since we started this.
This is true.
This membership journey.
This is true.
Right?
It's been a year, yes.
So,
April 1.
Next month, if you've been charged $15, that all dies. If you want to get in, April 1 is the day, bro.
Okay.
You can get in for $5. We're rolling it back.
Okay.
And it's going to stay rolled back.
We were going to make that announcement. That's not the announcement on Monday. But
No, that's not the Monday announcement.
But yeah, okay.
That's just me putting Malcolm under pressure because he's got to go behind the scenes. Sweat pulling off his face. I don't want to tell you.
I got 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks to do that. So everybody who's been on the bubble, who wanted to get in.
Right.
And then, the $5 serves like $1 a week for you watching the show. That's the way you got to see it. $1.20 a week. Let's say you don't have money to really put in the super chat and the cash app. Your membership is like saying $1 a week to help these people keep the lights on, pay the rent, do what they do, because we really be trying to give it to y'all twice a week as best as we can.
I like it. Huh? It automatically renews.
Okay.
Yeah, your membership automatically renews. Yeah.
So $15 people rejoice. You're going to $5. For the people who didn't want to give us $5, rejoice. You're going to give us $5. And, it is what it is.
All right. So with that being said, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will see you guys on Monday, man. Peace.
Peace.